Hey, how's it going? I I'm gonna read some cards. I was not planning on doing it right now because it's early in the day. But I did pull the cards early in the day and took some notes on what I wanted to talk about, and then I don't know. I was taking a picture and I was like, "What the heck? Just do it now. Just get it done. Get it out of the way." Not that it's in the way in a bad way. Maybe that came out wrong, or whatever. It came out anyway. Oh, here. I guess I can unplug you so you're not so. Yeah. Whoopsie. Are you still going? Oh. Good. Hi, please look at my signs. Oh, hold on. There. Now that I've given you seasick stomach. Okay. So, I've been watching Weird History too much. Well, or just enough. Okay, sorry I have to be all anal and get this out of the way, or it's just gonna bug me because it's not in the right place. Window. So, I pulled 2 cards. I'll leave that one in there and come to it in a minute. The first one I pulled was from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, and it was number 26, Galactic Mushroom. I'm still having perspective issues with my vision. So, there it is. And the 24 adds up to 6. 2 and 4, rather. And if I feel like there's more to say about it, I'll probably have to put it in the information box. I said it right. Oh my gosh. So, and the other card is from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, and it is Tarantula. So, I'm just going to put those aside for the moment. Oh, I'm going to leave you in the book so I don't lose my page. More things that have to go in their place. More things. So I wrote, like I usually write myself some notes so I know what the heck I'm trying to articulate. And there's not that much. I promise it'll go by faster. It's not the writing that takes long, it's the sidetracking. But I'll try to avoid that because there's kind of a lot. So there's like a lot of recurring themes. Yeah, they have to be completely lined up. I may have an issue. I'm just gonna read it how I wrote it. Insects, honeycombs, photonic rays. I wrote experiencers, but I'm really talking about people that have had encounters, but it'll make more sense as I go on. That was commentary and not part of the notes. That blissful feeling of the like one rarely feels watching the Netflix doc on a whole town that experiences sightings of unaccustomed word I don't really like using, but I will just for the sake of, and now everybody's using it, UAPs. So this whole town has had experiences, seeing UAPs. unidentified aerial phenomenon. See, now I gotta have another government of your acronyms. Like a bunch of PIN numbers you gotta keep track of. Thanks. Thanks for keeping my mind sharp. Okay, one gent. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm watching the Netflix doc on a whole town that experiences sightings of UAPs. One segment. One gent, a pilot, offered up that upon seeing the phenomenon from the ground while he was maintaining his plane, he said that he felt a sense of peace and feeling, I'm just going to call it all lovey. He made the remark that he hadn't felt that way before or since. And it reminded me of people who'd been in face-to-face contact with Palladians, like what they've had to say in interviews after it's happened to them. They have, with Palladians, they travel in groups, the Palladians, 2s or 3s, from what I've seen in reporting and what these people have said, 2s of 3s, and in the interviews they comment on the height of them, how their movements, like their gait, are eerily coordinated, like twin behavior. They like identicals. Made me think of how they took in, or how they often look Nordic, blonde and blue-eyed. I felt something similar, like today, earlier when I was out on my porch radiating, meditating, although radiating I can talk about another time. But yeah, I'm out there meditating, and I wasn't doing it like toward any particular thing. I was just sort of clearing my mind and grounding when this happened, and I just felt like a really calm and peaceful, like just a really good feeling. And I was standing with my feet on the ground, and I had my rear kind of propped against the seat of my wheelchair because I don't do so hot on my feet, but so I'm leaning against it, but I could like slide off the chair and get my feet on the ground, and then also sort of shimmy back up there. So I'm sort of like just propped there. And my legs started feeling all rubbery, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? Like almost felt buzzed, which I don't dislike. Don't go nuts with that. You know, it's like coming out of anesthesia type feeling. Like I'm not all Michael Jackson on propofol. But it was like that. It was just like this physical, like, I can't really explain it. Now, I don't know if it's at all what this guy experienced, because well, I have seen something. It wasn't at all what this dude saw, and it was months and months ago, but I've been thinking about it and talking about it, so who knows, you know, like, as I'll go on, you'll see the things, I want to say tiles just fall into place. I don't know. That is like the persistent term that keeps coming to mind, and I don't know exactly. It makes sense to me, but I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else. But to clarify, I would also say tumblers, like key in a lock tumblers, probably makes more sense to people than tiles. Anyway, I'll just continue reading. So I don't know, like, if what I saw was connected with Palladians or anything, and it's kind of not really to do with this, but like I was saying, today I was just out there and I just felt this feeling. That was before any of this, and let me just go on. I felt something similar, I think, in different circs. Which brings me to the photonic rays sent here to mollify those of us that could use soothing. Help calm and nullify the negativity and aggression we have dreamed up and become inappropriately like addicted to. I mean, I don't know how else to characterize it, because it's like those of us actively engaged in it don't seem repulsed by their own behavior. But an onlooker can refer to the old maxim, you can't judge a book by its cover. The changing of a mind may not be outwardly apparent. It might not even be inwardly apparent. Have you ever changed your mind in like a radical 180 and surprised yourself? I'm not talking mind control with the rays, more like heart encouragement. They've been coming. I just saw something that I posted also that talks about this, that speaks on like the presence of these rays slightly, like it just tells a little bit. There's way more to it, but like where they originate from and what they're doing. And so that's why it's not a mind control thing comment. So it's more like heart encouragement. They've been coming for a decade, and so they aren't controlling people. And they're not controlling, certainly not controlling people to be violent and aggressive and mean and all the other stuff. This is all about like happy, nice and good, peaceful. So however, if the door to compassion and love are left open a crack, so rays might find their way into our consciousness, it's no intrusion. In context, the implication is clear. It's an invitation. The rays can come on in. It's nothing strange. It's those unseen functions at work. You know, another thing I came across around the same time as the comfort with the Palladians stuff was a Q&A. With a channeled XT. I call them XTs just to cut out a few syllables from extraterrestrials. So XTs, to be clear. And I might also say XDs for extra dimensionals. A little more concise. So anyway, this Q&A was with a channeled XT and human querents. And the Q was about meeting XTs and why more of us haven't. And the A was, are you afraid of bugs? The querent replied that some scared her, and the entity further supplied that if bugs frighten you and you want to meet with XTs, you must get over it. That in mind, I have made myself get comfy with bugs that give me the willies. And I'm just using bugs as a sort of umbrella statement or term, but I feel like it's kind of rude. Probably to insects if they're paying any attention to what we're saying, if they're paying attention to the words coming out of humans' mouths, which, I don't know, like, anyway, the concern that I'm having is insectoid beings, which are not our bugs, right? They're like, would be like humans in their own worlds and things, like where they originated from, and they're out there. Opinion commentary, not the end of the world, driving their spaceships around, and they have had dealings with humanity for like millennia. And call me kooky, but also refer to the Sumerian record that has been decoded and is being, deciphered and understood more clearly, that seems to point to exactly the kind of thing I'm saying right now. So we have had a relationship humanity has with these beings, and some of them, these XTs, are insectoid. I believe mantoids. There's some that are like mantises. The word, it's like right around what I'm trying to say. But they're supposed to be, or are alleged to be, genetically superior. They have knowledge of how to super duper space CRISPR genes. And then there's ant ones, and so I don't even know what else. I mean, there's so much I don't know about that stuff. But this, as unbelievable as it sounds, I can believe it. So I feel like they might not take bugs. I mean, I wouldn't want them to like just show up all, hi, I'm a mantoid, and what's up, nigger? Like, we could be more civil and polite than that. So, but just for expediency, I did use bugs in here. So caveat made. I guess I can continue. That in mind, I made myself get comfy with bugs that give me the willies. Recently, in my kitchen where I am right now, an unusual bug landed on my arm. Now, I don't have ants or roaches which come when your home isn't well kept. I get spiders occasionally, and I let them come and go unmolested. Flies, I keep a clove oil infusion going when they're, around, like summertime or whatever. They don't like the smell, so it's not like killing them. It just makes them go, oh, I don't want to go in there, which is, I discovered that this past summer, and pass it on. Clove oil in your diffuser. It works. Anyway, get off that sidetrack. This different bug looked more like a tinier version of my childhood pet turtle. It definitely had a similar coloration, and nothing in my kitchen, insect-wise, have I, in any kitchen and anywhere I have lived, in any state, have I seen any type of insect that looked like this. So, it definitely had a similar coloration to the turtle, and unable to ID it instinctively, I tried blowing it off my arm, like, and I was starting to get like freaked out, like what the heck is that? Like, it just that fright instinct came in. It was all fright and flight for the insect, for the bug. But it stuck after I blew on it, so I tried to, like, just as gently as possible wipe it away. And then I immediately looked for it, right? And that thing, I could not find it anywhere. It was just gone. I wanted to see, like, if it was okay, if I had heard it, because I really was trying not to. And I wanted to get a better look at it, like, what the heck is this? And so, yeah, it was nowhere to be found. I thought I blew it. I blew it. I had an opportunity to elevate a step toward a conscious interact with one of these beings. I hoped for another chance, which I got. Different looking critter in my bed that awoke me by landing on my arm. I failed that test too by reacting identically, but so fast that, I didn't even have time to reflect on, elevating. I was just all trying to blow it off. It was also dark. It was dim. Couldn't see. I think I've talked about how good my vision is. It just looked like it looked like a hairball, actually, like had somehow got up off the floor and out of the trash from my brush. And so I blew on it and it didn't go anywhere. And it was weird. I didn't like really feel like feet or anything, but or anything, literally. And so I was really like, first of all, like, how did a hairball get up onto my arm, and why did it wake me up? Like, those were the thoughts going through my mind. So I blew on it and it didn't go, and I was like, oh no, not this shit again. So I just kind of went whoo, and then I was like, I'm not gonna try to find it. I actually just want to go back to sleep. And I don't know how, like, I should have been more concerned about going to sleep and maybe getting another one on me, but I don't know. I was just like, I'm just going back to sleep. So that's what happened there. And then I woke up and I was like, oh man, I did it again. I still want to pass that exam. I seem to be under for suitability myself. I still want to pass that exam. I seem to be under for suitability myself. It's interesting, though, that I'm not at all obsessed with having encounters, but I'm open to it. I felt that for a week up to now, a week ago up to now, that I've been given a refresher course. When I've gone out, I've had wasps and bees come close, which is not unusual. The wasps is new, though. There was a nest up in the corner of my deck for years, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want them to poison them and mess with them. And then it didn't even really get like giant, you know, like it was really modest, as if it was trying to stay out of sight. And then one day we got new owners and they were all inspecting everything to death. So they came and took it and cleared it away. And I felt bad because they never bothered me. I used to be afraid of them when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I got stung by 4 bees and like I didn't die, and it just itched and it was on my back, so I didn't know what was happening. And then when I asked the person that I was a kid, so the person I was playing with, to scratch my back because it was driving me that crazy, she went around my back and looked, because we were having a water fight outside, which I don't know, may have attracted them, or we got in their territory. I don't know what happened, but she looked at my back and screamed and ran away. She ran and got her mom, who didn't speak English, and they're both like flipped out, and I didn't speak Spanish, so they were going so fast, there's no way I could understand them. And finally, my friend like calmed down enough to say, you got bee stings. And her mom was like, yeah, like a washcloth, and she was all patting me, are you okay, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, it just itches. So that kind of made it clear, like, oh, you know, they're not that scary. Anyway, and so now I've been going out, and well, here, I'll just read it. It's here. I feel like after, you know, a week after that, when I go out, I felt after that for a week up to now that I've been given a refresher course. When I've gone out, I've had wasps and bees come close, land, and hang out briefly. The wasps really are doing that. The bees just kind of buzz up and hang around and take off, like say hi. The interesting thing, though, has been the spiders. Like, on my way off this property to go take my exercise ride, there are bushes, which is where I kind of have gotten friendly with bees here, but lots of spiders. And they have been leaping off the bushes onto me, and like, it's like I'll just be going along, because I'm not going too fast, because people are walking there, and you know, I'm at a leisurely pace, so I'm able to see the web come shooting over with the spider, and the spider like landing on like one time it was on my black hand grip, so I could totally see it, and one time it landed on my like shoulder, like right here, so I could see that too. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I just went along, and then at some point it was just gone, you know, like it just like hitched a ride for a minute, which is interesting because I learned a couple of years ago that spiders don't necessarily need a structure to go from point A to point B like Spider-Man, because they can ride like electrical currents and I guess wind too, from wherever they want to go to, from wherever they are to wherever they want to go, which okay, isn't that crazy? Pardon. Spiders catching rides as I pass bushes. I'm seeing them parachuting over and riding my handlebars or my hair. Yeah, that happened one time too, which that was real hard not to stop and freak out. As if to remind me, oh, yeah, or on my hair once before, spider parkouring off again. As if to remind me that I feel these are benign, so the others, despite their look that I'm unaccustomed to, are as well. Even maggots, which are my kryptonite. And also, thank the Lord, I like never see them. I've seen them once, and that was enough for a lifetime. I know they're just going through their life cycle, but all that squirming is just, I don't know, it triggers like this revulsion, or at least it did. I don't know. I don't sound like I could look at look at them with a much kinder eye right now yet. But I mean, they can. I mean, it's not their fault, you know, that they make me feel that way. And they don't make me. I make me feel that way. I should just be all, okay, that's some insects, some bugs over there doing their stuff. But it still gets me. Okay, so yeah, I almost never see those. Well-kept house, etc. Wink. I feel honored, chosen even, that I'm undergoing these tests and education. At least that's what I feel like is happening. As if I'm being prepped to interact with XTs. And I just gotta I'm gonna call it a physical affirmation, which, oh yeah, that just blows my mind. So yeah, I feel humbled and grateful. Okay, so now that I've talked not that long, considering, my back hurts today. That is why I'm groaning. I think I pulled it when I was out. Well, I know I pulled it when I was out riding, but I think I pulled it when I was stretching it because it started to hurt. I'm old. So, I'm not even sure where to start. I guess I'll start with this one, the galactic mushroom, because I have talked about this card before when I've pulled it. And the guidebook, which I have here to reference, I may not actually use it because I'm pretty familiar with what it says, but seemed appropriate before I wrote all of that stuff and had all of these thoughts, and also watched a bunch of stuff that triggered successions of thoughts and connections to things that made something to be ouchies talking about here. I'm going to take a hot soak like you wouldn't believe. Oh, I'm going to be so covered with salt in there. It's going to be sludge with Epsom salts. But yeah, the mushroom, the galactic mushroom, I have talked about how I feel like the mycelium grid, which would be like all of the fungi family, and you know what's here, like in the earth, like basically embedded in life on earth, that can communicate like on a quantum level with, you know, into space and to beings and places that I can't tell you what they are as of now, but I don't have any doubt that they are out there. So it's kind of, in a way, reminded me of the way the spiders were traveling on me, but also just the messages that I've been getting all day, that I did not know I was going to be getting about what I was going to be getting them about when I pulled this card way this morning. I love that. Oh, I don't have my chime. Ding! I don't feel like getting it. Should have done that first. Anyway, oh, this is going, well, anyway. I'm going to talk about the other card I pulled, which I thought, coincidentally, considering all I had to say, was funny. That is tarantula. Not one of the spiders that I was talking about. I don't even know that they are here where I live, because it's in the north, and I was under the impression that they were warm climate animals, but I mean, it's wearing a hair coat. I know they had them in LA. Somebody I knew had one. I guess I knew a couple of people that had them, and I don't know if they're native. I have to look. And oh, come on, I have nothing to take a note on. I was not prepared, and I did think about it. Okay, here we go. For my information box text stuff. Oh, there it is. I probably want to say some stuff about 6 and tarantulas. Tarantula. Sorry, getting all obsessive about how the letters look. I don't know why that cracks me up. I need therapy. I'm going to read from the book and see how it will contribute to what I've already said. At a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. At a crossroads. Now, see, that reminds me of yesterday's spider thing, which I didn't talk about any of this stuff, even though I knew about it, that I wrote about. Yesterday's card from the Shaman's Oracle Spirit deck was Jeweled Web, where I talked about webs and grids and nets. And so, also, I was talking about fixed points in the context of the Flash, and I guess everything else I was talking about, time, like points that you come across in your lifetime that you cannot change them no matter what you do, and trying to change them like can be detrimental if you don't just leave it alone and like just move on, because you can't change it. So yeah, a crossroad. Claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. Yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. Get over your fear of bugs, I guess. Just pause for a drink. In order to find true happiness, you must choose Dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula, boy, I've heard that message twice in 2 days. I hope that's not to me specifically. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance, follow intuition. When out of balance, hesitate, over-intellectualizes. I'm not doing that. To bring it to balance, daily journaling. Interesting, I'm noticing just now that the spider is black and the background is completely highlighting its appearance. Like, focus on a spider, it's important, it's trying to tell you something. Me? Just me or everybody? Okay, well, the stuff I usually talk about, Congress, and I'd say there's some crossroads and tangled webs. I actually made a comment today on a YouTube clip post that I had watched because they were talking about the election for the new speaker process, and they keep talking about secret votes, and my comment was like, I wish they would not have secret votes, because if it was publicly available knowledge, which it should be because you're the constituents, everyone should be able to see, but especially the constituents of these politicians. I think it should be broadcast, and the deals are the things that I want to be in the open, because look at the wheeling and dealing. Look what it did to Kevin McCarthy's speakership. If you have stuff out in the open, you know, even if the politician in question is not my particular one, my state, they still do national decision making. So I feel like I could be their literal constituent, or I could just be on the wider scale of constituency. But I think that if people knew what was going on, they wouldn't be trying to do the things that they did, where we ended up with what people keep calling a clown show. I'm not going to characterize it negatively or really in any other way than to say I guess this is truly the sausage making that we're getting to see, which is good. Because if they're acting like this in the open, imagine what those secret meetings are like. Like the mycelium grid, the photonic rays, which I didn't really talk about much, are coming and have been coming for at least a decade. I think more. I don't want to specify beyond that because I'm just not sure. But they're coming from the central sun. There have been reports of it for a while. Like, it's, well, that aside, they've been coming from someplace like way far, far out in the galaxy, and they come with the purpose to, again, not control us in any way, but to, when we're open to receiving them, they will act upon us in a way that will enhance our compassion and capacity to move toward unconditional love. And oh man, love's been a theme all day for me today, and it's this is unaccustomed for me to be talking this way about these subjects. Not the spider stuff, but the love stuff. But we have really done the hate and aggression for millennia, and how's that working out? Like, maybe call me crazy, but we can like start thinking about ways to like be able to love things about each other. Not asking anybody to go full on unconditional love. I can't even say that I can do that myself, but I can get that way about people, places, and things, and it's a start, I feel like. So again, call me crazy. You wouldn't be the first. So knock yourself out, but maybe we try something else. Thank you and good night.